Hello students, good morning all. This is me, Dr. Kales. Welcome you all to this session. In this session, we are going to discuss a new topic from Odisha. In this particular segment, we are going to discuss whether the developmental model of the Odisha is being considered as a role model by other state of India or not. Whether the path of success has been percolating to the other state or not. We will discuss holistically from different aspects of the development. Before starting the lecture, let me introduce who am I. I am Dr. Kailash Chandra Deori. I am a veterinary surgeon currently working in the government of the Odisha. In this particular video, when I am going to describe the success of the Odisha, I will try to keep myself politically neutral. Means I will not tilt towards any political party. The development that government has taken will be reflected in this particular lecture. Right? So, without any delay, let's get started. Before moving to the next slide, let's have some knowledge on Odisha with respect to its physiography as well as demographic structure. If we see the physiography of the Odisha, we have a 155,707 square kilometer area, which is very vast. On its eastern side, we have the Bay of Bengal, and in north, south, as well as in the western part, we have different states. We have a 480 kilometers of long coastlines, right? Besides this, if we see the demographic structure of the Odisha, it is a home to 4.6 billion population, which is 3.4% of the total population of the India as per the census 2011. Right? So we have a huge population as well as a huge area. So taking the advantage of the demography as well as physiographic structure, the government of the Odisha has taken a myriad of developmental steps in order to place itself in the pioneer positions. In this particular lecture, we will see the positive aspect of the developmental process that took Odisha to a different sphere. Besides this, we will also analyze some negative aspects. In the final, we have to strike a balancing view, and at the last, we have a way forward. What can be done further that adds in the developmental process of the Odisha? So, in this four parameter, we will move. In the first aspect, that is the health. The health. Recently, the government of Odisha has been awarded prize regarding international prize regarding its effort in malaria eradications. Nowadays, the Odisha government has declared our Odisha is totally free from malaria, because it has launched a very ambitious project in with respect to the malaria eradication, that is Daman initiative. What is the full form of Daman? Daman full form means Durgam Anchal Malaria Nirakaran. Right? Again I am repeating, Durgam Anchal Malaria Nirakaran. As we have received that prize on the 25th April this year, as we are celebrating the World Malaria Day on that day. This eradications has been possible only due to the intensified efforts of the government along with the target and timely interventions of the health and family welfare department. That's why we have achieved this malaria eradication status. Coming to the next, which is very important, the COVID-19 management. all these states are applauding Odisha and Kerala for its success in COVID management. Right? Odisha has been placing itself on the pioneer role with respect to the COVID management. How? Because we have, when the first case of COVID was detected in the state of Odisha, we have applied severe, or we have implemented the different acts. Why these acts are implemented? Because to uphold or to ensure a good public health. What we have done in the acts like Epidemic Diseases Act 1897, right? Then Disaster Management Act 2005, Odisha Essential Service Maintenance Act of 1992, right? All these acts were implemented into full-fledged, right? Besides this, we have enforced the strict norms in order to check the COVID-19 proliferations. How we have applied the strict norms? We have applied lockdown, shutdown, right? We have applied sanitation measures, social distancing, mask wearing. Besides this, we have also emphasized on the movement of public through restricting measures, right? Besides this, we have applied the isolations measure, quarantine measures. Besides this, we have classified the areas into red area, green area, yellow area, like this. In this area where the cases of COVID-19 is more compared to the others, that area has been categorized as the containment zone, and specific approach has been taken to combat it or to reduce the proliferation of the disease in that containment zone. That's why we have enforced strict norms and restrictions, right? We have another things, we have established different super specialty hospitals. The government of Odisha has upgraded many hospitals into AIIMS like facilities. Many many world class, many not world class, many hospitals are upgraded to the COVID hospitals, where cheap along with the quality medications are provided, right? These COVID hospitals uh, are are made taking both government as well the private players, right? So we have also recently, the government of the Odisha has laid the foundation stone to make SCB a world class hospital. So SCB renovations project was also going on. Besides this, the health facility at the rural areas. Recently, the government of the Odisha, through the Odisha Public Service Commissions, has made a recruitment of more than 3,000 doctors who are catering the health related services at the rural areas. Besides the appointment of the doctors, we have the paramedicos, pathologists, ANM, GNM, etc. all are made appointment. The government of Odisha has a scheme, that is Swahiman scheme. The Malkangiri, Koraput, all these areas where there is no any connections, or better to say cut-off area, we have a system of, we have a different mode of health services delivery system. So in this Swahiman area, the government has taken special emphasis with respect to the health facilities, right? As we have also witnessed, there are recruitment of the more Ayush doctor, right? The government of Odisha has been giving extra incentive to those medicals, or to those medical service, or to the health service employees, right, in the remote areas of the Odisha. That's why the government is now putting more force at the grassroots level, right? The government of Odisha has its own health insurance scheme, that is Biju Swasthya Kalyan Abhijan. Biju Swasthya Kalyan Abhijan, right? So it has a tremendous effect on the socio-economic status of the poor. Besides this, recently, when there is a shortage of the liquid oxygens around the country, the government of Odisha was able to supply the surplus liquid oxygen to the other states. That's why many states are telling the Odisha is placing its at the pioneer role in the COVID-19 management. Coming to the very important concept of disaster management. As we have seen, the Odisha has a long coastline of the 480 kilometers. Every year, the Odisha is facing a cyclone. Why the cyclone is forming? Recently, the Indian Meteorological Department, the DG, Dr. Mutunjay Mahapatra sir has told, who is the current DG of the IMD, has told, due to the global warming, the sea temperature is rising, right? We have the sea temperature must be below 20.5 degrees centigrade. When this temperature is rising, the sea temperature is rising, and it is forming cyclone, right? We in the past years we have witnessed, in 1999 we have a super cyclone, right? In 2013 we have Phylin. In 2014 we have Hudhud, right? In 2018 we have Titli. In 2019 we have Phani. In 2020 we have Amphan, and in 2021 we have Yas. So every year we are witnessing a disaster in terms of cyclone. So by combating with this cyclone, the Odisha has been able to combat further disaster with respect to the cyclone, right? Coming to how the Odisha has been able to control or to check the casualties from the cyclone. The very motto of the government of the Odisha is zero casualty. The government of the Odisha is telling no one should die due to the cyclone. So this is the prime motto of the government. So how this motto is being materialized? So we have discussed the types of disaster it faced in the past years, as we have discussed, and how we are able to take it. Right. So we have tackled it through a various, or better to say, multi-dimensional approach. How? When a cyclone is hitting to us, we have a early warning dissemination system. Through this system, through this technology, we are getting, or we are able to know the distance of cyclone from the coast. Basing upon this report, we are evacuating the mass from the low-lying area as well as the coastal area likely to be hit by the cyclone. So recently, the government of the Odisha has evacuated the persons from the low-lying area before 24 hours from the hitting of the cyclone, right? In this early warning dissemination system, a high-level committee is being formed under the state relief commissioners, and information has been provided to all the district magistrates to check or to reduce the mortality due to the cyclone, right? So in this in the high level meeting under the SRC, we are forming different committee, like your a committee on the supplier agency, a committee on the essential commodities. So we are forming different committees. So through early warning dissemination system, we are using the advanced version of the technology, right? Besides this, we are involving the mass media, whether the secondary mode of communications, TV, the print media, the electronic media, right? The social media, through all this media we are informing the citizens, right? So evacuation planning, technology, and the community level involvement. So in this sector, in this management we are involving the panchayat raj institutions, right? So besides this we have the Odisha ODRAF and the NDRF, who are the apostole during the disaster. The Odisha Disaster Rapid Action Force as well as National Disaster Relief Force. Next, the strengthening the second line of communications that I have discussed through the mass media, the electronic media, the print media, the social media. We are being able to communicate the masses. Besides this, the government of the Odisha has been able to transform the Kacha house in the low-lying area to the Pakka house, right? Through its Biju Pakka Ghar Yojana, Mo Kudiya Yojana, and the central sponsor scheme, that is PMAY, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin, right? Besides this, the persons those are living in the low lying area, and those who have the Kacha house, they are evacuated to the cyclone shelter area house, right? So after the cyclone is passing, we have many post disaster relief measures. We are going to the area, we are surveying the extent of the damage, we are estimating how much revenue is being lost, all these things, how the agriculture is lost, how the animal sector is lost, electricity, water facilities, all these things, medical facilities ensured after the disaster, all these things post disaster reliefs are taken in a quick mode. That's why in the Odisha we have a networking system that connects all the stakeholders in this management process, that is the Odisha state wide network, which connects all block, all districts, that is Odisha state wide network. Through this we are connecting all the stakeholders during the mitigation process of the disaster. Coming to the important segment, that is the sports area of the state. As you know, the state of Odisha is known as the sports powerhouse of the country, or the sports capital of the country. How? In the recent years, the government of the Odisha has able to conduct many different nationals as well as international level events. What are those? Like the men's hockey champions trophy in the 2014, second ASEAN athletic champion in the 2017, right? Men's hockey world league final in the 2017, women's hero world cup in 2019. All these things were, all these events were held in the state of Odisha, especially in the state capital, that is Bhubaneswar. Now in Bhubaneswar, the government of Odisha is planning to shortlist the venue for the FIFA Under 17 World Cup, Women's World Cup. So it giving a message to the whole nation that it is encouraging, or it is promoting a culture of the sports among the youths as well as in its countrymen. Through its conduct of the multinational events, it is inspiring the youth to pursue sports as a dream. Besides this, in the city of Rourkela, recently the government of the Odisha has laid the foundation stone of making a world-class hockey stadium. Because all these things giving a message to the rest of the India, a good sports ecosystem, right? Next, coming to the new important concept, that is the federalism. What exactly federalism means? Federalism is the power sharing model. What is power sharing model? Some areas are there on which center can make law, on certain area state can make law, and on certain area both center and state can make law, right? The area on which center makes law is known as union list, on which state makes law, that is known as state list, and upon which the center and the state both makes law, those are, that is known as concurrent list. So this is the power sharing model. In technical term or in political term, it is known as federalism structure. So the state of Odisha has been categorized as best state with respect to this federalism. How the federalism is maintained? Because previously we have planning commissions. In planning commissions, the center is planning, or the center is making planning, or center is making planning for the state, and the state is forced to implement those plans. So this is a one way of transfer of the policy. But after the abolitions of the planning commissions, old age planning commission, we have now Niti Aayog structure. So in the Niti Aayog structure, the center is now listening the problems of the state. So the center is now receiving the problems of the state. That's why it is known as down to top approach. So the center constantly listening the plight of the states, That's why Odisha is able to maintain a very good federalism structure. Under Niti Aayog structure, we have a center-state relations. In the better to say, it is a kind of cooperative federalism. But because in both cooperation is needed to make the developmental process more realistic. Beside the state, the Niti Aayog also made, because the state must prosper with respect to their or taking their own resources. That's why within the state, when the cooperation is there, it is known as competitive federalism. Right? Because currently the government of Odisha under the Biju Janata Dal, it is maintaining equal distance from the center as well as from the oppositions. And in this center, the BJP is there, and under the opposition, the Congress government is there. So the government of Odisha is maintaining equal distance from both the national parties. In some important policy measures, it is supporting, and in certain policy measures, it is also condemning the central government. That's why, due to this equal distance maintenance from both the rival parties at center, the Odisha government has been able to plan out its own developmental policies. And very important, it has able to give 50% reservations to all women in the Panchayat Raj institutions. Before, during the Biju Patnaik regime, it was 33%, and now it is extended to 50%. Right? And coming to the recent news with respect to the COVID, the supply of the liquid nitrogen to other states, those are facing a high risk of the COVID-19, it signifies or it shows its cooperative federalism power. In 2 to 3 days ago, our CM has urged all the CMs not to procure vaccines or to procure vaccines individually. And our all CM urged all the CM of other states to not to procure individual vaccine, COVID-19 vaccines, and let the vaccine procurement strategy is to be handed over to the central government, because the state 1 is there, state 2 is there. In this, if the state 1 is more prosperous or more rich with respect to the state 2, then it would able to procure more vaccines compared to the state 2. So there will be imbalance, there will be disparity in vaccine procurement. That's why our CM has wrote a letter to all the CMs of the other state, urging them not to procure vaccine individually, but rather to leave the decisions to the central government. The next important segment is the empowering of the women or empowering of the self-help group. As we have know, in the state of Odisha, we have more than 6 lakhs of the self-help groups. The only objective of formation of the self-help group to make the socio-economic status of the women more respectful, to make women or to put women in the employment generation process. So this is the chief aim of the forming the self-help group. Currently, recently, in 2 to 3 days back, there is a department that is Mission Shakti department that was previously under the Women and Child Development Department. But recently, the government of Odisha has taken this Mission Shakti department from the Women and Child Welfare Department, Child Development Department, and make it a separate department. So the main objective of the SHG formation is to generate income activities, right? That's why when the SHGs are formed, they are bank linked, and the bank is giving them loan, and by taking the loan, the SHGs are engaging themselves in the income generation activities, and after getting the some incentives from there, some profits from there, again that money is given to the bank, right? That's why the state government has been giving the interest rebate in this process. Other incentives like providing mobile phones, insurance facilities, right, free loan, etc. to the SHGs model. So the government of Odisha is more the planning of the government of Odisha is more tilted towards the welfare of the SHGs, right? Coming to a next important thing, that is justice to the landless in slum areas. Those people who are residing in the slum areas of the Odisha, the government of the Odisha has taken a new initiative, that is Jaga Mission, right? Through this Jaga missions, the dwellers of the slum area are provided with a land title, जहाँ को ओडिया जमी पट्टा कहती. Those people are awarded with the land right title, right? This Jaga mission was materialized through an act, that is Odisha Land Right to Slum Dweller Act of 2007. Again, I am repeating, that act is known as Odisha Land Rights to the Slum Dwellers Act of 2017. Like, so for this initiative, this initiative has been extended to the all notified area councils, NSCs, and the municipalities. For that reason, the Chief Minister of the Odisha has been awarded prestigious UN Habitat Award. Right. This Jaga mission has been the nodal agency to implement this Jaga mission is the Housing and Urban Development Department. And under this department, this Jaga mission has been extended to 114 urban local bodies. Right. Besides awarding the UN Habitat Award, the Tata Trust and the Normal Foster Foundations has been awarding this UN Habitat Award to this year. Coming to the next segment, that is urban transformations through different schemes, Unnati, Jaga missions, water facilities, right, smart LED systems, AHAR schemes. We have ensuring the citizens residing in the city a livable condition, a good condition, because our Bhubaneswar has been ranked 1 in the smart city missions, right? So through its ambitious project Unnati, Jaga missions, water facility, smart LED system in the Ahar, a cooked meal of 5 rupees. Under the Ahar scheme, our urban transformation process is going on. Next, coming to the agricultural productions, because our state of Odisha is agriculturally rich state, right? More than 60% of its populations are directly dependent upon the agriculture as well as the allied activities. As you know, we have 83% of the total population residing in the rural area. Out of 83%, the 60% population is dependent on the agriculture. So agriculture is the main backstay of the mainstay of the population. Through the constant interventions of through different policies, the state of Odisha has been able to receive the Krishi Karman Award 5 times in a row for its increased overall food grain production, the Krishi Karman Award. And recently, the government of Odisha has taken new agricultural policy 2020 that is known as Samriddhi of 2020. In the agriculture system, we have a Kaliya scheme and Balaram scheme. As I am not going to discuss these two schemes because these are politically, these have some political significance. That's why I am refraining myself from discussing from these two. But if we see the objective of this policy, these are designed so that will help the farmers to procure food grains when the government is giving some amount of money through the direct benefit transfer mode, right? Then we have seen all the positive aspects of the government. While we are viewing the positive aspect, then our duty is to see also the other side of the government or other side of the development process, that is the negative aspect. While we are moving in the high growth trajectory in the developmental process, then we have also some drawbacks. So without if we are not considering the drawbacks, then if we are only seeing the positive aspect, then that is not the motto of this lecture. Then we have to see the drawbacks also, right? So first, the NCRB data 2020. What is the full form of the NCRB? National Crime Record Bureau. If you see the NCRB data 2020, then Odisha is among the top 5 states which witness molestations to the women, high rate of molestation to the women. The Odisha, the state of the Odisha has been pioneer in child pornography, which has been envisaged or which has been described in the NCRB data of 2020. So it is a outrage to the modesty of the women, right? Next, coming to the HDI, Human Development Index of 2020, that has been released by the SBI, right? So we have a very bad position with respect to the Human Development Index, right? Next is we have also seen, as I have no any official data, we have seen the forced migrations from the Ganjam, the Koraput, Kalahandi regions to the other state of the Odisha in the search of a job, that is the forced migrations. And we have the KVK issues, the long-standing KVK issues, and we have also the long left-wing extremism problem, the Naxalites problem, insurgencies in the state of Odisha. Then another big concern is the rising demand of a statehood status, that is the coastal movement. Recently, in 2 to 3 days back, the Niti Aayog has released the Sustainable Development Goal number 8 report. What is the Sustainable Development Goal of 8 says? It says regarding the job avenues, technicality plus job avenues. Our state of Odisha has recorded the highest unemployment rate, as we have increasing number of per capita income, but still we have the high number of or highest rate of unemployment state, right? So these are some drawbacks or some drawbacks of the drawbacks for the state of Odisha. So we have witnessed both positive aspect as well as the negative aspect of the state of the Odisha. If we compare or if we weigh the both positive aspect, then definitely we have more advantage compared to the disadvantages. That's why taking whole the issues in one go, most of the states, almost all states regarded Odisha is a role model, right? So in this particular segment of the way forward, then we have discussed. Now we have to see in the COVID-19 crisis, the life is first, then livelihood. After life gets stabilized, then we have to secure the livelihood, right? Next, we have to create more numbers of jobs. As we have more numbers of natural resources, it is essential to set up more numbers of multinational companies, industrial corridors in the state of Odisha, the exclusive economic zone in the state of Odisha, the special economic zone in the state of Odisha. So all these things needs to be created. That's why it will generate more numbers of employment facilities or employment numbers, right? That's why. And besides this, we have to increase the MSME also area also. Besides this, wave forward means recently we have seen many houses during the disaster, they have been submerged under this water. For this reason, we have to take a plan that will deal with deal with the infrastructure aspect. We have to develop such infrastructures that is immune to the all disasters, right? That infrastructure known as climate resilient, better to say disaster resilient infrastructures. So we have to give more focus in this area, right? The next thing is so besides this we have to take we have to also take many strict norms or implement strict acts to restore or better to say to uphold the modesty of the women, right? Modesty of the child. That's why as we have seen a negative comments in the NCRB data of 2020, right? So in all this area we have to see, and no doubt our government of the Odisha is in coming year is able to make such laws in these areas that need to be addressed, right? So in this particular segment we have seen the positive aspect, the negative aspect, and we have given a possible remedial solutions to the community. So if you see the whole growth model of the Odisha, it is in the pioneering positions. That's why most of the states are telling Odisha model is a role model for others, right? If you like this video, then please subscribe my Dr. Kolesh Lectures channel, hit the bell icon and give your like box. If you have enjoyed this video, then make it share among your friends. Until the next video, stay safe, stay indoors, have a good day. Thank you. God bless.